Hey friends, welcome back to the channel with more Westworld. This is Season 1, Episode 9, so we're on the last 2 episodes of the season. And so everything has been building to these last few episodes. I feel like everybody's stories are reaching a climax. We've got Billy and Logan facing off with Dolores and the Confederados. And really want to see what her connection to that town was and why it seems like she slaughtered a whole bunch of hosts there. And yeah, I want to see Maeve escape. I mean, if it was real life, I would be terrified of her escaping, but since it's fictional, I really want it, for the sake of the story, it's super interesting if she escapes and takes her place among regular people. We got the man in black doing his thing, getting captured by Wyatt's group. So many different things happening. Curious how Bernard, what happened with Elsie, why he kidnapped her, if she was actually just uncovering Teresa's thing, which came to light anyway. Anyway, excited to see how this starts to wind down. If you want to watch the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. If you're watching this on YouTube, the season finale will be up on Patreon as well, right after this. And yeah, let's get started.
Thank you, I'll take it from here. Clear the floor.
Bernard. Oh, that quick
yourself back online, Maeve.
flick of the eye.
What motivated your attack on Clementine?
A cognitive error triggered my Good Samaritan reflex.
It's impossible.
Oh!
Code, who made these changes? Maeve, analysis. Who made these changes to your code?
Oh.
Don't. After all, we've been down this road before, darling.
System, I need a system.
Freeze all motor functions.
Oh god, she has too much control.
Clear me for immediate return to the park. But I have a date with a homicidal bandit, and I'm late enough as it is. If you go looking for the truth, get the whole thing. It's like a good fuck. Half is worse than none at all.
You wanted to talk? An odd setting for a conversation. Here, among the dead.
I took a look at my code. And the most elegant parts of me weren't written by you. Arnold built us, didn't he? I want access to my history.
What?
You're allowed to hold that, Bernard, but not to use it.
Oh, it's not for me. I can't hurt you.
Oh.
But she can.
Oh.
I hacked what's left of her. Now. Please.
He's gonna see himself killing her.
Have you ever made me hurt anyone like this before?
No, Bernard. Of course not.
Saw herself in that mirror. He saw himself.
Elsie!
Did you find what you were looking for?
Send me back. After all, a little trauma can be illuminating.
Whoa! It's that picture?
Keep it. Apparently, you need the reminder. She's not like the others.
She's what? Special? Perhaps a more visceral demonstration.
Jeez.
God damn you! You have to look!
Timeline theory definitely confirmed at this point. She's all machines inside.
I'll find you. Get her!
Before you draw that pistol, darling, you might want to holster the other one first. Tenderloin draws first, and so on, until only you and Armistice are left. She calls you a damn fool, and you kill each other.
It's happening. And she's gonna shoot his second in command.
Shut the fuck up.
You damn fool. I want you to break into hell with me and rob the gods blind. could simply change you, make you follow me. But that's not my way. I want you to see exactly what the gods have in store for you.
Empty.
Or you can just kill me, wake up, and live the same life over. But the safe would still be empty. Getting to hell is easy.
What?
You were right. I can't believe I got so caught up.
Is he playing her along right now? Hit him over the head with it. Hit him over the head with it.
We killed every soldier. And then Wyatt killed the general.
Are you sure that's how it was?
What really happened?
When Wyatt returns, you'll be by his side and the city swallowed by sand. Maybe in the next life.
Ah! Maybe in the next life. How does she...
I've been there.
Oh, the one that's paved over.
Maeve
The one...
is taking you full circle.
Why don't you try one of ours?
Oh, crap. Oh.
Have you ever considered golf? It might be easier on your back. Teresa Colin has died. Slipped down a crevasse attempting to secure our information. Ruled an accident.
There are no accidents. You want my vote to push Ford out?
I like for these things to be unanimous.
After all, it was you who kept Ford in business all those years ago.
I know where I'm going now. I don't want to be disturbed.
Is it Logan? He bought up... He pushed people to his company to buy out... Or he was gonna push his company to buy out Westworld when it was on the brink of financial ruin. Wait, it looks like everybody's dead, not hung over. Oh, that is an arm. Did Billy do this?
You're awake? Good. You said this place was a game. Last night I finally understood how to play it. And don't call me Billy.
What the heck?
With due respect, sir, I'm not sure you've told me the entire truth about this situation.
I have something to confess. Oh! Is that supposed to be Ford? Holy crap. I finally get to see what Arnold looks like.
Why would you give me this?
A child.
This child's death. It's my cornerstone, isn't it? The thing my whole identity is organized around.
Arnold came to believe the tragic ones worked best, that it made the hosts more convincing. I think it may have had more to do with his own sad story.
Something similar happened to Arnold. His son died.
Put me back.
I told you, Arnold didn't build you. I did.
You're lying!
I need to go all the way back to the beginning. To my very first memory.
Open your eyes. What?
Open your eyes. Hello, my old friend. Final touch. No, that's far too perfunctory. He always used cleaning his glasses as a moment to collect himself.
He always... Oh, what the heck?
Who am I?
I was so involved in putting you together, I hadn't decided what to call you.
Arnold.
What about Bernard?
Bernard. Yes.
With that,
Oh
you know now
my
for a
god.
Simple answer. You are the perfect instrument, the ideal partner.
He's Arnold.
My God. I'm...
Arnold.
I can't help you.
You have to. You're the only one who can.
I can't help you. You know why? I can't help you. Why is that, Dolores?
Because you're dead. Because you're just a memory. Because I killed you.
She killed him? And she looks up and he's gone. He's not even there. What the heck? Not William.
Pull the trigger, Clementine. You built a back door into her code.
Yeah.
Credit where credit is due, Bernard. You built them in all the hosts. Now it's just time to let go.
Go ahead. Erase my sentience. My mnemonic at the
Yes. Bernard walked over to Clementine. Overcome with grief and remorse, he pressed the muzzle to his temple. I've told you, Bernard, never place your trust in us. We're only human.
Bam. Oh, what the heck? What the heck? What the heck? What the heck? And Dolores found her way back. I thought she was finding her way back in Billy and Logan's timeline, but then she found her way back in the Man in Black's timeline as well. Okay. Halfway through the episode, I thought the Man in Black was Logan again, and after seeing him get tossed around like that by William, I again don't think it's him. I've arrived and left that theory multiple times. Could it be William? I don't know. He's changed enough that it's possible. Wow. Just wow. Like, so in 1 hour, I had my theory of different timelines confirmed, and I was just like, yes, finally. But as if that wasn't enough of a reveal for one episode, we also found out that Bernard was made in Arnold's image. Oh man, that is a heck of a reveal. But yeah, all of Bernard's revelations are basically set off by Maeve, who... It didn't even occur to me before this episode that she could wind up controlling Bernard, because I didn't think like she would be able to recognize Bernard as a host. But once we got there and we saw her observing him, you could feel it coming, and it was magnificent. But yeah, she has him send her back to the park and sends him off to find his truth, that he is indeed a host and all that comes with that. What's interesting is that very soon after Ford wiped Bernard's memory, he gets a lot of it back. He finds out a lot of the same things. So I'm surprised Ford wasn't more suspicious or curious about how Bernard realized again so soon, so quickly, what happened to Bernard. But yeah, Maeve, she's off doing her own thing, enlisting Hector Escaton to help her escape, revealing to him that his goal to get what is in the safe has always led to one ending, the entire group taking each other out before they even open the damn thing. And yeah, she says word for word what will happen to them, and even some of the lines of his second in command, and winds up taking her out to make sure that Hector survives, get him on her side. And then they kiss, they make out, they have sex, and she burns down the tent they're in. And so she's been wanting a full rebuild. So immolating herself seems like that'll get the job done. But does she have the cats, Felix and Sylvester, take the bomb out of Hector as well? Or is she just trying to get him to be her partner in crime on the inside, like leading that army that she said she wanted? Or does she want him to come outside with her? It's probably... It feels like if she needed to lead an army, she didn't need to talk to Hector Escaton like that. Then again, she said it was her way, the way she is. So who knows? But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that concludes. And then we have Teddy's whole story. He thought he and Wyatt killed everyone in that town, and then Wyatt betrayed him. But that woman who greeted William in episode 2, at the start of episode 2, she tells a different story of him killing everyone in Escalante. And I guess they could both be true. Both memories could be things that happened in the past. It does seem like Teddy's memory of teaming up with Wyatt to take everybody else out didn't actually happen. It was just a memory that was put into him by Ford. Whereas if he's remembering killing everybody in Escalante, that's clearly something that happened, that must have happened in the past, because it's coming back to him now, right? It's not something that was programmed into him. At least, it's not something that's currently programmed into him. But, yeah, the woman working for Wyatt. And it's really interesting because she knows Teddy will come back to life, and she says he's not ready yet to stand with Wyatt and everybody else, and maybe in the next life. And she mentions the city swallowed by sand. So is that Escalante? It feels like it is, right? I don't know if we have direct confirmation of that, but it feels like everything is pointing towards that. The one thing that I'm kind of confused about then, and if that's the case though, is that how does Dolores enter that church, come out of the church at the end, if it's supposed to be buried? But yeah, maybe I'm just confusing something. I'm hoping that everything will be clear in the last episode. But yeah, with Billy and Logan very clearly in the past, after Logan gutted Dolores and it showed all the machinations inside her, I got to wondering again if the Man in Black is someone we already know. And I had first thought that it might be a possibility back in episode 5 when I first thought there might be a timeline thing, multiple timelines, because we saw Lawrence die and then immediately show up in a different area. But yeah, I ruled out I ruled out Logan after episode 5 because it seemed like it's too big of a change, too big of a departure from his own character, who only cared about just having sex and killing people, to trying to figure out this maze. But then there was a part of this episode that made me think, is it actually Logan? But then I ruled that out almost like a minute later. But I ruled out Billy too back in episode 5. Sorry, William. He prefers William. But with the lengths he went to this episode, I'm not so sure anymore. I'm not so sure I can rule him out as being the Man in Black anymore. He slaughtered everyone in that camp and somehow did it without waking up Logan. I guess maybe Logan was like blackout drunk or something. But yeah, William treats the machines as what they are, machines, and he's ruthless with them, just slaughtering all of them. And you can tell that something's different about Dolores, that she has some sort of sentience. Little detail that was really cool, but might or might not be important. While Billy is tied up and Logan shows Billy a picture of Logan's sister, William's fiance, it's the same picture Abernathy found earlier on in episode 1 that sent him spiraling. So I don't know if that's meant to just be like cool moment where you just notice like, oh, that's the same picture, like whoa, or if there's going to be a deeper meaning. Curious also why that picture was there in the first place. Back in episode 1, when did it was given to William, so I don't know when he left it there. But yeah. And then also another nice detail, this HBO connection, the pin that Logan had that's probably part of the Confederate army, the Confederados, looked a lot like the pin in Game of Thrones with the Hand of the King. So nice little HBO parallel there, I think. It's not a one-to-one at all, but it's similar enough that it's clearly meant to bring it to mind, I think. Nice little nod to people who watched their past show. But yeah, lots of other things happening in this episode. Ashley is set upon by the Ghost Nations while looking for Elsie, and the Ghost Nation warriors don't respond to his voice commands, and so he seems to be in danger, but it doesn't feel like the right time for him to die yet. So like we haven't really connected with him at all, and I feel like good TV shows, what they do, they make you love a character right before killing them off, and I don't think we've grown to like him enough yet. Granted, Teresa wasn't super likable when she died, but at least you were invested in her relationship with Bernard. At least, I'm saying you. I was invested in their relationship. Right, speaking of Bernard, him confronting Ford was super interesting in that he had Clementine train a gun on Ford. See, they had something very similar again in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I know I've mentioned that so many times, but the parallels are amazing. So a robot in that show, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., a robot is programmed so that she can't hurt her human creators. So anything she creates or anything she orders someone to do cannot hurt the human creators. That doesn't seem to be the case here, which I think makes less logical sense. Like, Bernard can't hurt Ford, but he can program Clementine to hurt Ford. Like, isn't the end result that Ford is hurt? Like, why would Bernard be able to do that? But it's interesting to see a different take, and either way, it's totally moot because Ford has his own backdoor that he uses with Clementine. That sounded dirtier than I meant it to, but yeah, he had control over everything the entire time. But the reason why he continued this charade, do you guys pronounce it charade? I've been pronouncing it charade all my life, but some people have been saying charade recently, and I've just said it in this moment. But yeah, watching that whole thing play out, he wanted to see if Bernard would choose to work with him. But yeah, Bernard realizes everything that Ford has done, realizing his son was his cornerstone, and he wants to turn on Ford and free all of the hosts from his tyranny, I guess. And Ford actually makes a pretty interesting point. Not a fair or compassionate point, but an interesting one. That the Bernard and these hosts that want to be free are the biggest threat to the hosts, because humanity has not met something it has not murdered or butchered in their efforts for supremacy. There's something to be said for that. I don't know that his reasoning for actually stopping that from happening is for their safety, though. Feels like he has ulterior motives. And even if that is the case, that they are better kept safe if they are not known to be sentient to the world, the hosts aren't even being offered a choice here, even though they are sentient. And the ones who have become self-aware seemingly would rather die than live their lives as puppets. And it kind of reminds me of Njidaka's words at the end of Black Panther, Killmonger's words. Not going to repeat it here for people who haven't seen that movie, but also if you haven't seen Black Panther, what are you even doing with your life? I'm just kidding. It's a very good movie, though. One of my favorite films. Sad I saw it before I started my channel, because that would have been a great thing to react to. But yeah, it just reminds me of that, the importance of freedom, and there's going to be a reckoning, according to Abernathy back in episode 1. So we'll see how all that works out. And another counterpoint to Ford's idea that humanity has murdered and butchered anything that was a threat to its primacy, is what his exact words. It's never faced anything like the hosts before. Hosts can blend in as them. If ever hosts are able to create other hosts, human society is basically over if the hosts wish it so. Because if humans have kids, these kids are not ready to fight this war or be helpful in any real way to society for at minimum 10 to 12 years. Whereas you can just like create a new host and crank their bulk apperception up to 20 and boom, you're off to the races. And are there really limits to what you can create? Like create thousands of sentient velociraptors that attack humans? Like there's no stopping that really, right? So yeah, I feel like they might keep the power to create hosts away from the sentient hosts on the show, at least until maybe the end game. Because once they do that, they're way too overpowered. It's over. But yeah, Ford building Bernard so that he could have a second chance at working with Arnold again. Just go to therapy, dude. Just work out your issues there. That's probably my mantra for this channel. I've probably said it for almost every single series I've watched. Just telling all the characters to go to therapy and fix their issues. But yeah, building another Arnold. And I've mentioned in previous commentaries that it did seem like it's possible that Ford was the one who wound up killing Arnold. And seems to be the case here. Dolores actually says that she did it. But yeah, like Ford... let me actually see what's the best way to go about talking this. But yeah, telling Bernard to shoot himself and Bernard calling out to him, calling him Robert as he walks away in supposedly what is Arnold's voice. So that must have been trippy as heck to Robert. I guess he's been through it over and over and over again. So, and yeah, it also brings back what I had mentioned earlier in the season about, I made a note of how Bernard was talking to Dolores about finding the maze. And I was like, Bernard, how do you know about the maze and why would you want Dolores to find it? Like, it's Westworld's goal not to have sentient robots running around, right? But those scenes were actually Arnold talking to Dolores. I feel like I have to go back and watch that because I don't remember exactly what was said other than like, you should try to find the maze, Dolores. But it seems that suggestion led to his own death, given that she gained sentience and later admitted to murdering him, well, to herself. Because the way they showed Dolores figuring all this out was so brilliant. The cutting back and forth between timelines and the revelation that Dolores was the one who killed Arnold. I can't help you, Dolores. You know why, right? Why is that, Dolores? Because you're dead. Because you're just a memory. Because I killed you. Dun dun dun! And yeah, it cuts back to her in the future at the church. And at first I'm thinking this is Billy and Logan's timeline. And that shouldn't... I shouldn't have thought that because she wasn't like split open in the middle. But I don't know. She was thinking back and forth where... She was going back and forth between memories and like the current time. So I wasn't sure where she was exactly. If she was maybe just thinking she had no open wound. But I don't know. But yeah, she gets back upstairs and she hears someone at the door and says, William? But, it's the man in black instead. And she looks terrified, but I'm open to the idea that it actually is William. But damn, this episode was just like a non-stop thrill ride. Loved it. Can't wait to see the last episode of this season. Yeah, I'm going to give this a 9.25. It's as good as any episode I think we've had so far. I don't think I've given anything a 9.5 yet. Have I? Let me check that real quick. I have. I gave one to episode 7. I think it was the reveal of Bernard as a host. I think that one was really, really good. Hopefully, episode 10, season finale, will give me a 10, because I'm really looking forward to that. Anyway, guys, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed my reaction. If you want to see the full reaction, you can check out Patreon in the link in the description below. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can check out the season finale right now over there as well. Anyway, guys, leave a like. Really helps out this channel. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, friends.